What would you advise your students to help improve their grade if you could only share one thought? Student engagement has potentially evolved in the last few years. Research for online education suggests that one of the most predictive variables of engagement is participation in discussion forums. For those of us like myself who have a complicated relationship with discussion forums, there had to be a different way. So, how do you measure engagement? But first, what does engagement mean to you?
Breaking down problems as a class. It just helps keep me focused. When the professor tries their best to answer questions before and after lectures. Feeling so into the class that you're not distracted like you would be in an in-person class. I think it's easy to keep to yourself and not share, but teaming up with classmates or asking your professor questions has always been helpful to me. That's when I feel most involved in class. Seeing other perspectives and questions. Real-time discussion. Being able to talk fluidly, and if someone accidentally talks at the same time as you, you laugh about it. Engagement to me means being in class and participating, not just necessarily having the camera on. Being able to be engaged, but without real engagement per se.
Engaging without real engagement per se. Now, I needed a tangible, measurable definition of engagement. How could I use my Canvas data to explore that? New Analytics is a tool that provides further insight to our students' engagement, and Canvas Insights allows us a level of automation to act on those insights. Starting with New Analytics and a little bit of Excel efficiency, I set out to answer the opening question. The initial, intuitively obvious but simple premise was that students who participated more earned a higher final grade. I downloaded my New Analytics data where I have access to participations among other metrics. Participations, as described by my New Analytics informant, records every submission that students make. So, engagement equals participations as measured by Canvas submissions. As expected, initial conclusions indicated that higher participations did result in a higher final grade. Not a groundbreaking discovery, but I finally experienced my Canvas data beautiful mind moment. Questions about other potential predictive variables such as number of logins, combination of page views per login time or login count, specific page views by category, participations by category, and potentially individual student-faculty and student-student communications. Really any combination that you could think of. Of course, this is to eventually determine if any of these variables are significant when analyzing characteristics that could influence identified equity gaps. This is where it started to get a bit more interesting. The analysis demonstrated that while the early weeks are important, my strongest indicator was the number of participations during weeks 5 and 6. Early assessments are important for student retention, again obvious, but what this prompted was an analysis of my syllabus to explore what was going on around this time. The excitement continued when initial analysis of 2 other, this time freshman courses, was different. Yes, you cannot compare 100 versus 300 level courses, but it spoke to the choices we make with our academic freedom and whether or not standardization may benefit students. In a poli-sci course, all weeks were relatively equally important. Now, if this is your goal by design, then this is a way you can confirm using your Canvas participations data. In an introductory psych course, weeks 3 and 4 were more important. In this course, also designed with multiple weekly low-stakes assignments, expected weekly submissions dropped by 1 as of week 6. So, it appears that data suggests that the real discovery is that by analyzing the 3 different courses, the results seem to indicate that additional significant weeks are different, potentially based on course design, which you can now cross-reference with your syllabus and determine if they align. My courses have a midterm around week 8, likely related to the effect in weeks 5 and 6. I'm sure week 5 is a difficult time, but from my initial analysis, I will now reconsider my expected submissions around the midterm and focus on encouraging my students to continue participating. And I'm finally better equipped to accurately use Canvas Insights. I can also have a priming discussion with my students about tangible engagement, aka their submissions, and how their engagement relates to their final grade. As a bonus, can you imagine a world where Canvas Insights automatically schedules a meeting between you and the identified students without you having to manually do this every semester? A system tailored to your individual student outcome goals, simply because you set out to answer the initial question. You have the power to answer that question, and every class may have a different answer. You now have the opportunity to easily align your syllabus to insights your data provides. Think of it as rediscovering your syllabus through Canvas participation's data. Not only will this help inform your instruction practices in the event you do notice a disconnect, but it also gives you one more reason to have those data-supported influential conversations with your students, our future. Thank you for your engaged participation.